Check one. Check. Check. Check one. Welcome to Rim Park, Court 3, where we are broadcasting the 18U Women's Championship gold medal match. My name is Jimmy L. Turk. I'm alongside Richard Eddy. Both of us are coaches with Team Ontario, and we're excited to be with you here today. The finals features two teams that took two very different paths to get here, the Halton Hurricanes and the Ottawa Mavericks. The Halton Hurricanes were ranked number 2 coming in to the tournament, and the Ottawa Mavs are ranked number 9. The Mavs upset the number 1 ranked seed Pac-Man in the quarterfinals, and then defeated LVC in the semi to get here, whereas Halton defeated Storm in the quarterfinal and Leaside in the semi in 3. So we're excited to have a really competitive final. Rich, what can you tell us about both these teams, and who are some key players we should be looking out for today?
Well, both of these teams are very athletic, Jimmy. We have seen each of these teams perform at a very high level this weekend. On Halton, some of the key players that you're going to hear about and see through this game is their setter, Laura Medill, as well. Standing next to her right now, hitting from right side but playing P1 would be Alex Kells. And they also have a strong presence in the middle in Olivia Saunders. On the Mavericks, there's 3 players that have kind of told the story this weekend. Back on the service line is their setter, Rebecca Maxwell. At the right side is Mia Workman, and in the middle is Ella Stewart. So my prediction is those 3 players on each side will have a major impact in the outcome of this game.
And we're off and running here in the gold medal match. Ella Stewart gets a stuff block for point 1 and then can't quite press over for point 2. Alex Kells sides out from the right side, and she goes back to serve. Combination play in the middle there. And number 11 with a block out, and she goes back to serve. So yesterday in the power play match, Halton beat Ottawa 2-0. So we have a rematch in the same weekend. Rich, how tough is it to try to beat a team twice in the same weekend?
Well, there's always a mental aspect to this game. Sometimes you can get a real edge from having played and beat an opponent earlier in the tournament. However, to take this Mavs team lightly would be a real error on the part of Halton. This team has played the best this weekend that I have seen them play all year. They've had some very exciting matches, played at a very high level. I'm expecting that this match today will be a lot closer with this 18U gold medal on the line.
A kill out of the middle by number 9 as she goes back to serve. Ace serve. The old big kill, miss serve doesn't happen this time as she hits a flat liner into the 6-1 seam. Let's see if they're going to go after number 11 here from the Mavs. Down balls, both teams hitting to position 1, trying to take the setter out. And Ella Stewart just misses the top of the hands as she hits out. Ella Stewart, number 20 from the Mavs. She's a 17U athlete, former Team Ontario athlete. Rich, what can you tell us about Ella and what, you mentioned her as a key contributor, but what can you tell us about her game and how important she's going to be?
One of the things I really like about Ella is her athleticism, and you really notice it when she is closing blocks. She's really proven herself to be one of the best middle blockers in this tournament in terms of her ability to move laterally, seal blocks, and she's also very explosive, hitting. You'll see a lot of quick attacks, 31s, which is basically a quick attack pushed away from the setter. I expect you to see her in a lot of those situations in this match.
She puts in a tough serve, and the setter is out here. Workman finds the net there. A trend that we've noticed thus far. Both teams trying to establish middle on good first contact, good pass. We haven't had a lot of good passing early. Maybe some gold medal jitters, Rich.
Yeah, let's see these guys settle into the game here. I'm sure we'll find once 8-10 points pass by, they'll find their comfort zone, and they'll be ready to go.
Left-handed Workman, Mia Workman back to serve. She'll be attending the University of Toronto next season. Tight set by Medill. Roll shot to the pot. Bianca Ruiz finds the soft spot in the defense, the old campfire there. You got to have the libero, Chloe Carenza, making an aggressive play on that one in the pot.
There's a great out-of-system set there by Maya Russell from Ottawa. I think out-of-system offense and managing those situations is going to be key in this game. Both of these teams are very powerful offensively. I expect to see a lot of out-of-system scenarios created on the defensive side of the game.
Roberta Todd with a huge cross-court kill. There's no digging that one for any type of out-of-system play. And she goes back and hits the spin serve just out of bounds. Score is 7-6 here. Kel's attacking the block. Laura Medill, the left-handed setter, playing the ball on two. What an advantage that must be to have an attacking setter, Rich.
Yeah, one of the things that Laura's done really well this weekend is actually create some openings and some space for her hitters by having that second contact attack as a threat in any good pass situation. So keep an eye on that. When you see Halton get a good pass, you'll notice Laura goes up and turns her shoulders towards the net as if to indicate an attack's coming, and at times she'll swing, at other times she'll find her hitter.
The Mavs lead 8-7. There it was there. She pretended like she was going to attack to try to hold the middle blocker, and a great dig down the line by Workman. Another great dig by Workman. A good scramble by the Mavs to keep it in play. A combination X play right in front of the setter. They bring the middle on an inside shooter, a 31, and then bring Alex Kells inside for a 52, and she finds the 5-6 seam. Trying to create some different openings. We've seen both teams try to run some type of combination so far, maybe to try to create some openings and attack some different gaps that they've seen on video. As we said, both teams have played each other already this tournament as well as all season, Rich. How familiar do you think these two teams are, and do they have any wrinkles that they haven't shown that they want to throw into the match tonight?
Well, that's a great question, Jimmy. A lot of these girls have been playing volleyball now for 4 and 5 years. They've played each other in this tournament and several others many times. They know each other very well. In fact, many of them play together on Team Ontario. Some of them will even go on to play together this summer at the Canada Games, and these teams will be very familiar. We'll see if anyone's got any tricks up their sleeve for this weekend, although I expect the offense to be quite dynamic on both sides with Rebecca Maxwell and Laura Medill running the offense.
Free ball. They bring in another combination play again. Thomas comes in and hits the second ball. Another dig by Workman. And the ball just hit out of bounds. Workman making an impact on the defensive end. She's typically somebody who's a big point scorer for the Mavs. For her to play defense and continue to pick up balls here, that's a huge bonus for them. A backslide, another nice dig by Medill. And Ella Stewart, previously mentioned Ella Stewart with her second stuff block. Rich, these girls are going after the ball. We haven't seen a lot of tips and rolls. They are setting the ball on the net, and they are having big swings.
Yeah, and one thing I like about the Mavs offense right now is they've gone to that step around with Ella here twice. It creates a lot of space for both hitters. We call that a separation play. It's going to put some pressure on Halton's middles and force them to use lateral movement to try to close that block.
Speaking of separation play, Medill calls a 31 and runs the separation to Jamie Thomas on the right, and she gets a cross-court kill. That's a staple in the Halton offense. They try to run a separation offense to try to get Jamie Thomas as many looks as possible. Jamie Thomas is also committed down south. Rich, where do we have Jamie going next season? She'll be attending UNC Wilmington to play both indoor and beach. Kels puts in a tough serve to position 1. And there goes Workman again, running on the inside, a little slower 30-lane set, and she's able to attack it cross court. So both teams are moving people around to try to attack some different gaps here, Rich.
Yeah, I've seen Mia Workman play that 33 style set throughout this tournament. She's had a lot of success with it. My guess is that it's easier for her as a left-handed hitter to hit that inside ball. And we've also seen Ella Stewart attack quite well from the left side, Jimmy. What do you think about these players that can hit both from the middle and from the left side?
I think it's a big advantage for any coach who's able to run an offense where all of the athletes can hit from the different zones, because it gives you a whole bunch of creativity options, especially with the first contact that the Mavs have been showing so far, which has been pretty good. They're able to run different athletes in some different zones. And so let's see if that trend continues. They continue to target number 11 from the Mavs on serve receive. Scramble play. Nice play by the libero. Another nice play by the lib. Makes her third dig of the rally. Timeout Mavs. They trail 15-11. So, we're 26 points into the first set of the championship match here. What are you seeing? Rich, are you seeing some type of tactic? Are teams trying to do one certain thing to try to gain an advantage? What have you seen so far in the first half of the first set?
Well, it's nice to see the teams both settling into this game. I think on the Mavs side, they have some players that are firing on all cylinders. If they can come out of this timeout with everyone operating at full capacity, I believe they'll be able to close the gap a little bit here with Halton. As we mentioned earlier, we're seeing a dynamic offense. We have great setters in this game. We have athletic middles. We have powerful outside hitters. Both of these teams really deserve to be here, and it's great to see them putting on a show already.
Let's see how the Mavs can respond out of the timeout here. Let's see what type of service pressure comes from number 9, Megan Miller, out of the timeout. Tough serve and on target. Workman fixes and takes the setter out. High ball situation and a tight set to Thomas. She does a good job of winning the battle at the net. Interesting decision to peel there. Number 16, Bianca Ruiz, who's committed to Acadia University next season with a big cross-court kill.
Jimmy, if the Mavs can have girls like Bianca firing in this game, that's going to give them a real advantage on the outside.
Ella Stewart with the tough serve. On to Kels. Another separation. They run 31 and set it back to Jamie Thomas. That seems to be a continuing trend here. The first couple times, Jamie Thomas was stuck with a one-on-one. That time, we had a late closing middle. So maybe the Mavs have made an adjustment in the timeout, Rich.
Yeah, well, the one thing about Jamie Thomas that, it was just shown in that play especially is that even on a bad or inside or a tight set, she's such a great athlete that she could get in there and still make a play on it. And it looks like the Mavs did a better job of closing up. Here we have an error here. Let's see if they can fix that on this next play.
Yeah, the passing is struggle for the Mavs. They get a good one there and try to run middle. We have a commit block. Megan Roudier is stuffed. Another tough pass. Maxwell is scrambling. And there it was, another 31. Olivia Saunders with the kill. Olivia Saunders is a junior national team athlete attending Wake Forest next season. Jamie Thomas continues to serve here. Ace serve, affectionately known as a bar down. It's hockey season. She goes back to serve. They continue to attack the seam of number 11 from the Mavs.
Well, Jimmy, Ottawa went to a 4-person serve receive that time to try to come up with a solution to Jamie Thomas. At this point for the Mavs, it's back to basics. Let's find a way to get a good pass and put the ball away.
Yeah, so often we see the game is won and lost with serving and passing, and right now Halton is certainly winning that battle as they lead 20-12 in this first set. A low set for Workman. She keeps it in play. Carenza unable to control it. And a side out. The Mavs take Jamie Thomas off the service line, and they send one of their best servers, Mia Workman, back there. They're gonna need some good service pressure and try to make some good high ball management off some good defense here. Good tough serve. Need an out of system set here. C-ball to Thomas, and she finds the net. That's how the Mavs are going to have to stay in this. They're going to have to continue to try to win with some service pressure and some defense here, Rich.
Yeah, the Halton Hurricanes have a strong offensive lineup right now. As we mentioned earlier, the threat from Laura Medill, the setter. We've also got Olivia Saunders and Roberta Todd, a very effective left side hitter, hitting on the outside. And the Mavs are going to have to clean up the defensive side of the ball here. Keep it simple. There's no point in running these plays if you can't get the ball up to the setter and put her in a good position to set the ball.
Trying to find as many opportunities maybe as they can to run middle. They haven't really had a lot of good passing, so maybe they're trying to get greedy and force one in there, and they have some disconnect setter-hitter relationship. Vanessa Roscoe checking in as a serving sub, and she finds the net. Checking back in, number 7, Roberta Todd.
Yeah, that's always a tough situation for a serving sub to come into the game. When you're off, it's sometimes hard to be at the same level of energy as the girls on the court. So it's always a lot of pressure on these servers to come in and be forced to make a big play, often being quite cold when they do come into the game.
The Mavs building some momentum here. Kels finds herself on the net. Mavs now trailing 21-16. Slowly cutting into the lead here. Good high deep serve. A really tough set, really fast set for Kels that she was unable to handle. 21-17, and right on cue, head coach Steve Delaney calls a timeout, trying to slow down the momentum of the Mavs. So what has changed here? The Mavs were trailing 20-13. Now they've cut the lead, 21-17. What have they done in the last 5 to 7 points?
Well, I think we've seen an increase in the number of errors. And volleyball is such a game of errors at times. The team that manages those errors better can often stay on top longer. So we have seen some errors creep in on the Halton side. The last couple of sets being low and inside, actually players traveling under the net, which could be even a dangerous situation. I imagine coming out of this timeout, they're looking for a nice high pass. They'll set an easy option, and they'll find a way to put the ball away and continue this match.
Let's be on the lookout for a middle attack here from Halton out of the timeout on a good pass. Trouble pass. And Kels bails them out with a really nice hard shot, block out. Serving sub coming in here. Number 3, Jenna Gravina checking in. Jenna Gravina going to be attending the lovely school of the University of Waterloo next season to play for my man here, Richard Eddy. Rich, what can you tell us about Jenna?
Well, Jenna's a great kid. We're very excited to have her. She's just one of many great players on this team. And I think this experience that she's gaining playing on a strong team with a good coach will lead her well into my program in the future.
Jenna with a steal. Let's see if she can make a play here on defense. Low set on this C ball, and Workman doesn't fix it. She tries to do too much and puts it in the net. So that momentum that the Mavs had created coming out of the timeout, they've lost 3 straight points, now trail 24-17. So in these situations, Rich, you're trying to maybe the hope is lost for the first set, but you want to continue to try to build momentum. You know, volleyball being such a momentum sport, what can the Mavs do here? What can they be talking about in the timeout that gets them ready to hopefully win the next few points and come out strong in the second set?
Yeah, I think if you're in this situation, the odds maybe are against you, but you don't want to play volleyball math. You want to get back on this court with confidence. You want to extend the game as long as possible. You know, the old cliche of just playing 1 point at a time, 1 contact at a time. Try to make some good things happen. Go into the break with some positive momentum, and just get back out there and play the second set. Don't overthink it.
Tip to the pot. Medill holds the help blocker, creates a one-on-one situation for the middle, Megan Miller. She finds the deep corner to close out the first set of this gold medal match. The Halton Hurricanes take the first set by a score of 25-17.
And I think one of the main differences in that first set, Jimmy, was we saw from Halton what's been their strength all year is they're strong in every rotation. There's really no easy or bad rotation to catch them in. That might have been one of the differences between these two teams in the first set. I think Ottawa had a couple rotations that they got stuck in where they weren't able to get a side out and get back to the service line. How do you think the Mavs are going to adjust to that, to the strength and the well-roundedness of Halton going into the second set here?
I think a big part of it is they have to keep the ball on their side a little bit longer. Like, you know, their serving runs have been very short, and they've given up a lot of serving runs on the other side. The best way to take a good offensive team out of rhythm is to serve them into some trouble and take the setter away from the net. You know, right now Laura's doing a really good job when the ball is in front of the 3-meter line of keeping the middle in the offense. And so that's forcing the Ottawa blockers to stay in the middle of the court, and she's able to run a fast ball to position 4 or to position 2 and create a lot of one-on-one situations. And so if the Mavs want to take the rhythm away of Halton, they have to start to serve a little bit tougher, and they have to pass a little bit better, because right now they continue to be in scramble mode. All of their play has been happening on the wrong side of the 3-meter line.
Well, that's a great point, and we've seen how potent this Maverick offense can be when they're in system. So just going back to the basics of focusing on that first contact should allow them to build some confidence early in this set. Like you said, serving is going to be key. At this stage of the tournament, these teams have both played about 9 matches. There's no question that fatigue is setting in, but this is the 18U gold medal. This is what they've been playing for several years now. I'm sure both these teams will be able to dig deep here in the second set and figure it out on their side of the court.
That's right. As we get the second set underway here, we just want to say a big thanks to the OVA for hosting yet another amazing weekend of the provincial championships here at Rim Park. They do such a good job. There are so many people that volunteer their time. There are so many people that put in so many long hours here in April and all season long to continue to grow the sport of volleyball in Ontario and in all the local communities. I won't even start by naming all of them because the list is too long. But another great event here and another great final. Hopefully we can have an exciting finish to our 18U girls gold medal match. So as we kick off set 2, Medill goes back to serve. Both teams starting in rotation 1, just like they did in the first set. So it looks like no team is looking for a certain matchup here, or if they are, they've already got it. So no changes have been made on that front. No changes to any lineup either. And Laura Medill steps on the baseline to open up the second set. Not much serving room back there, Rich, but not an error you want to see happen here to open up the second set.
Yeah, you know, Laura's an experienced player. You can see her laughing that off. She knows she goofed up. I don't imagine it's going to affect her too much for the rest of this game.
A nice dig on the Mavs side, and then a double contact by the setter Rebecca Maxwell as she tries to find Mia Workman. Let's see if they can try to get Workman a little more involved in rhythm this set. It felt like they were setting her in situations where, there wasn't a lot of rhythm. The setting was coming from some different spots. I think that's going to be a big key for the Mavs here this set, Rich. A great find from Rebecca Maxwell to Ella Stewart, operating on the 31, right around the 3-meter line.
Yeah, that was great to see. The pass was off the net. Ella made herself available. That's a great move by her as the middle blocker, opening herself up to the setter. Maxwell was able to find her, and she put it away. And, Jimmy, I agree with what you're saying. They're trying hard to find Mia Workman the ball, and that is the girl that you want to get the ball to. You just want to make sure that you're not forcing it in scenarios where you're putting her at a disadvantage against a big and imposing Halton block.
That's right. With an attacker like Workman, sometimes you just want to give her some time so you can see the block and work around it. Good pass there. There's a set to Workman in rhythm, right on cue, Rich. And she scores the backdoor shot in the 5-6 seam, and she goes back to serve. And so if the Mavs can continue that type of play there, solid first contact, they can run 31 away and create some isolation and separation against the block, they might be able to find some success here in the second set. Workman puts in a tough serve, creates an overpass that finds the line. Tough break for Workman. On the lines today, we have Jennifer Adams and Brittany Saunders. Our head official is Irina Zamboni, and our down official is Katie Jansen. Good pass. They run the step around right into two blockers. Rich, how tough is it to find rhythm in the step around when the passes continually to be around the 2 and 3 meter area?
Well, it's something that you can do. You need to train it. You need to be prepared. If you're going to hit step arounds, you need to be prepared to hit it in different pass scenarios, meaning regardless if the ball is passed to the perfect setting zone or just outside of it, you should have an answer as a middle blocker to be able to hit that play. That's a bit of an advanced move. Both these teams are great, but they still have room to develop their games, which I imagine we will see them do once they leave club volleyball and go on to university.
We have a substitution in the game for Ottawa. We'll touch on that in a second. And Olivia Saunders with another block here. The Mavs continue to be out of rhythm. Checking into the game is middle blocker number 8, Griffin DeMarc Henshaw. Let's see if she can bring some firepower to the Mavs lineup here. Another tough serve by Jamie Thomas. Lorraine Muzzolo. And they're going to unwind that sub. Griffin checks out. Megan Roudier checks back in. Megan Roudier attending Lakehead next season. Jamie Thomas went on a serving run in the first set, and she's back at it again here, Rich. Low set. Nice play by Saunders. Jamie Thomas does well to work with an inside C-ball set. Jamie Thomas is doing it all right now, Rich.
Well, yeah, you can see from her serve, she's serving a flat, low, fast-paced jump float from the end line. That's giving a lot of problems to Ottawa. From our view here, it looks like it's dropping in front of the pass line, and Ottawa's just having a little bit of trouble moving forward to play that ball. And then you see on the way on that attack and that kill, the athleticism from Jamie Thomas to be able to take a bad inside set with her right hand and find a way to score off the block. That's the type of firepower that Halton has that's kept them at the top of the 18U division all year.
The Mavs coming out of the timeout here. They need to give their setter, Rebecca Maxwell, a good pass here. I've labeled a good pass a few times around the 2 and 3 meter area, but they've got to try to help her out here. Give her something that she can work with. She scrambles and is unable to make a play there, and Jamie Thomas continues to serve points. I feel like we've been saying her name a lot today. The Mavs go to a 4-person serve here. Rich, some thoughts?
Well, I noticed they went to a 4-person receive from my vantage point, it doesn't look like they've moved up to possibly try to play that float serve with their hands or to account for the drop that we've seen on the last few serves. Sometimes what you want to do is to force that server to just serve something different, force them to serve deeper, force them to serve a different angle. You need to do something to take them out of rhythm, and when you got a girl like Jamie Thomas who's firing from the end line, she's gonna be consistent if you don't try to throw her out of rhythm.
Trouble play. Kels tries to keep it in play, but the triple block from the Mavs on the out of system pipe scores. They trail 9-5 here. Let's see if Bianca Ruiz can get them a few points. They went after Roberta Todd there on the last serve. Let's see if they attack that seam again. They go at Kels. And that's the firepower that you were talking about earlier, Rich. They may not pass the ball well there, but they set a high ball. Roberta Todd is not afraid of the block. She has a big swing and is able to score a block out off the middle.
Yeah, well, that was a great out-of-system set by Laura Medill. If you're unfamiliar with that term, out-of-system is basically when the ball is not passed in an ideal zone for the setter to use her hands to set the ball. And then you saw the firepower of Roberta Todd and her unique arm swing that's causing some problems for that outside block of Ottawa.
Vanessa Roscoe checked in to serve there and checks right back out as the Mavs steal side out, pardon me. They trail 10-6. Megan Roudier back to serve. So this has been typically a trouble rotation for most teams, Rich, with the setter in the front row for Halton, but they haven't had any trouble. Bad pass, C-ball, that's Doug. Gravina with a great pickup, and pardon me, Rich, to start the second set, Jenna Gravina is now the lib in the second set here. So she comes in and makes an impact play right there. Gets the ball on the net, and Halton's able to transition and score. That speaks to their depth.
Yeah, Halton has two liberos, Chloe Carenza, Jenna Gravina. Coach alternates them very frequently, which is great to see. All the kids on this team getting an opportunity to play. And two equally talented liberos, and both very strong, that are really give you an advantage in service, even on defense, for this Halton team.
Alex Kells with a big swing, blowing the libero up. This Halton offense is firing on all cylinders right now. They have such good rhythm. They're playing with such good energy. This Mavericks team has to find a way to try to take some rhythm away from them. They've got to find a way to side out and frustrate this defense a little bit. And Olivia Saunders serves a rocket for an overpass ace serve. The service pressure has been incredible.
Yeah, again, Jimmy, you see that flat float serve that's dropping in front of the service line for the Mavs. You now see Mia Workman in there passing as a right side. And she actually makes a nice pass there. Maxwell sets it to the outside, and they get a lucky break here with this neck call. Let's see if they can get back to the service line now and turn this game around.
The power of a good pass, though, Rich. Right there, we see a one-on-one block. That's all they need. They just need the setter. Rebecca Maxwell, who's attending McMaster, is a very talented setter, and she's able to run a really good offense. They've got to give her some looks here at the net where she can set. Alex Kells finds the antenna and a steal. Ottawa trails 13-8. They're hanging around here. They give up a few, they find a way to steal a few, and it's been on Halton's errors. Let's see if the Mavs can start to control play a little bit more. And Laura Medill with a miss set there, maybe some miscommunication between setter and middle.
Yeah, it looked like the middle went for a 50 or a quick there. Laura was thinking that she was going to go away, and Laura ended up setting a 30. And we saw it drop here on Halton's side.
Turn and burn by Medill, that's blocked. Nice play by Medill, and they set Medill here. The setter attacks the block. The Mavs are doing a good job of digging the ball, but the setting has been a little bit off the net. maybe not high enough in that situation. Workman finds the net. 14-9 Halton. Another tough pass. And Ella Stewart finds the antenna. And just like that, we're back to a 6-point lead. It's been side out and steal to side out and steal, but Halton has stolen a few more times here. What do the Mavs have to do here, Rich, other than pass the ball down the stretch to help themselves out and close the gap a little bit?
Well, right now they're facing a tough front court for Halton. We have Alex Kells on the outside. We have Jamie Thomas on the outside. So one advantage that the Mavs might have here is that strong middle blocker and Ella Stewart in the front, hopefully able to seal up some blocks, create some positive touches that they can turn around, keep themselves in system, and run their offense here.
An overpass that is dug by Gravina. And Alex Kels finds the seam. What a play by Jenna Gravina, and the bench is fired up. The coaching staff on their feet. Steve Delaney showing some emotion, and the Mavs call a timeout, trailing 16-10. That is a big-time momentum play, Rich. You must be loving that from the future Waterloo Warrior.
Well, we're not biased here, Jimmy. All of these players are putting their heart into this game, and it's just great to see them battle. It's an emotional weekend for a lot of these girls. This will be their last time playing in an OVA tournament. A lot of great memories, and hopefully one of these teams here, or both of these teams, really should be leaving happy regardless what color their hardware is at the end of the day.
And we are happy seeing some exciting volleyball here. Rim Park, beautiful Waterloo. Tight set, Workman unable to do anything with that one. That one finds the floor. I am very impressed with the ability of this Halton Hurricanes team to put flat service pressure on the Mavs. They are putting them in a lot of trouble. Another good float serve on target. Maxwell finds Ella Stewart. Roberta Todd not afraid of the block at all. She has got a big arm, and she finds a seam high into the block that scores in the pot. What can you tell us about Roberta?
Well, Roberta's got an interesting arm swing. She contacts the ball at a high point, which is great. It's a little deceptive in terms of how she orients her shoulders while she's hitting. So it actually puts the block into some troubling situations. It's not always easy to read and set up the block in the correct position, and you saw it there on that last play. She was able to squeeze the ball through the seam and off the hands.
Interesting serve-receive rotation here. They bring Workman back from position 3 to pass in the middle of the court. And that's what you were talking about earlier, Rich. Just giving them a different look, having the server have to serve to a different spot because they've changed their serve-receive rotation, and they force a miss serve from Kells. 19-11 here. Ella Stewart back to the line. It's time for the Mavs to make a run here. Todd attacking again. Off-speed shot, dug into the net. Bianca Ruiz with a nice off-speed shot. She pulls the string on the blocker, and Medill's unable to make a play here.
Well, Jimmy, I'd like to see a serving run here by Ella Stewart. We saw her earlier today against LVC go on a 10-point serving run. We know she's capable of a tough, flat jump float. See Jamie Thomas attack at the right side there, but Mavs staying in system. Mia firing a ball off the net.
And then Roberta Todd again, unafraid of the block. You know what, Rich? I think that isn't something that we've seen a lot this weekend. We've seen a lot of attackers, especially on the outsides, trying to hit around the block and not attacking the block. And for all those young kids that are watching, especially the left sides, at a system like Roberta Todd was there, attack the block. Don't be afraid of it. Good things will happen because often the block isn't as well formed as you think. And just like that, Bianca Ruiz attacks the block high and hard and finds some success.
Well, Jimmy, we're seeing that on both sides of the net. We can see some slight undisciplined hands on the blockers on both teams, and that's creating these wipe opportunities. So like Jimmy said, swing away at that block. You'll create good things by hitting hard. And as you see there again, Roberta Todd pulling the ball across court, avoiding the block this time, but still finding a way to score in position 4.
We have a serving sub here, entering the game, Brooke Davis. Brooke coming in to serve, and she's a setter. She'll be attending the University of Windsor next season. Maybe they run a 6-2 out of this, Rich, and have Laura attack. I don't know. I haven't seen this all tournament yet, but let's see what they do. Let's see how creative Coach Steve Delaney is with this. They're calling 4 contacts, and the lead extends. It's now 22, serving 13 with Brooke Davis back at the line once again.
Well, Jimmy, you talked earlier about wondering if there was any wrinkles or secret plays that we might see this game. And we might be seeing it now with Brooke Davis coming in, Laura Medill staying in the front row. Let's see if they use Laura as an offensive weapon here, or if they use her to set and just keep Brooke on defense.
Brooke again serving short at the stack. Looks like Brooke Davis will be setting here. Roberta Todd once again. Halton as a team has played incredible. But I think from an offensive perspective, Jamie Thomas and Roberta Todd with a lot of point scoring opportunities. And they've made the most out of those. We have championship point here. Brooke Davis serves short to the stack once again. Medill with the solo. And Roberta Todd. And very fitting, Rich. Roberta Todd with the block out. And there you have it. The 2017 18U Division I, Tier 1 women's gold medalists, the Halton Hurricanes. What an unbelievable match by them, Rich. How can you cap it off for us?
Well, what an outstanding match. Clearly the player of the second set was Roberta Todd, getting some huge kills for Halton down the stretch. This is a great team. They've worked hard all year for this, and it's exciting to see them take home the gold medal. And let's give a great shout out and acknowledgement to the Mavs, who had an absolutely outstanding tournament. This team exceeded all expectations for themselves. They came in showing that they were physically prepared, technically prepared, and although this wasn't their best outing, they had an awesome tournament. They should be very happy with the way they played. But hats off right now to the Halton Hurricanes. What an outstanding year. What an outstanding tournament.
That's well said, Rich. That about sums it up. And so just want to say once again, thank you to the OVA and to everybody who volunteers their time, all the coaches, all the parents, all the athletes. We love this sport. We hope that it continues to grow, and hopefully we can learn a lot from this match, showcasing a lot of the top talent that we have here in Ontario. So for Richard Eddy, I'm Jimmy L. Turk. Be safe. Thanks.